Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Before we start, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment if you wish. As you all know, my channel is dedicated to a little bit of everything. We talk about sports, we talk about anything that is happening around the world, we talk about dating, fashion, we talk about product reviews. If you want me to review anything or talk about something specific, drop a comment on the box and I will just take care of it. Today, we're going to talk about a case that has been going around for I think over a month now. I didn't want to make a video about this case just yet because I was waiting on more information to come out. The case that I'm talking about is the case of Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. As we all know, has been rolling around the news. Karmelo Anthony used a knife to unalive Austin at a track meet at a high school. Why I didn't want to talk about this case right away? Well, as would happen with every case of this nature, and you all know, there's always the people out there that are going to try to pull the case of a crime based on race. In this case, the perpetrator was black. The victim was white. That's why I think there's no cities being burned out right now. However, when we look at what actually happened so far, the initial response from Karmelo Anthony and Karmelo's family was that it was self-defense. They went over it, they talked about it, they did a media tour that it was self-defense. And that was the picture they sold to everybody out there. Now, when we talked to Austin's family, specifically his dad, he stated that witnesses told him that there was no altercation, there was no pushing and shoving, like Karmelo's family was stating, like Karmelo himself said that happened before the fatal incident. And it all started because Austin friends, I guess, requested Karmelo to move out of Austin's school tent, and Karmelo refused to do so. I guess he had his reasons for not doing so, even though it wasn't his school, but it's not even important at this point. However, his family lawyer, Karmelo Anthony's family lawyer, or his lawyer, anyways, Karmelo Anthony's lawyer stated that he didn't have to move. He didn't have to leave the place, the premises. And that's when Karmelo got pushed by Austin, and that's when he took the weapon out of his backpack and unalived him. Right? We all know how it happened. We don't have to repeat it over and over. But that's how they say it happened. Austin's dad also said that if it wasn't Karmelo's tent, why not just leave when he was told to leave? Nobody was holding him there. Nobody was tying him down to a chair to keep him there so they can heckle the guy. Whatever. He could have just left when he was told to do so, but he didn't. And all points out to the fact that he went ready to look for trouble because he had a weapon in his backpack. He attended to that high school with a weapon in his backpack. So he was ready for trouble. Austin's dad showed up at a Karmelo's lawyer press conference, and ironically, he proves the point that he was stating when he said that why Karmelo didn't leave the tent. So he showed up to this press conference and stand in the back of the press conference. The lawyer, Karmelo Anthony's lawyer, requested for him to leave, and he did just that. He turned around and left. By doing so, he proved the point of all that Karmelo had to do was turn around and leave. But no, he was looking for trouble. If Austin's dad was looking for trouble at that press conference, he would have taken the exact same approach that Karmelo did that fatal day. But he didn't. He left. And that's how he proved the entire case around. Well, as everything goes in this country, everything is looked through the lens of race. So automatically, this amazing people that is out there that always look at everything through race instead of looking at the facts of the case, they went crazy. Karmelo was defending himself. At all times, he was defending himself. That's why I didn't want to talk about this case, because I know there was going to be more information coming out. And that information came out. And in the course of the time between the fatal incident and the information coming out, like I said, all this amazing people out there using race as a move to justify Karmelo's unaliving Austin, they created some special of a GoFundMe account or some other website that does the exact same thing for his defense. And because they said he was only being charged because he was a black kid, and it was because the victim was white, and he was just defending himself. All these people think the exact same way without looking at the facts. They started throwing money at this account to the tune of, I think it was like around $600,000. Karmelo Anthony's family bought a house with that money, according to the reports. And the video of the incident came out. It was shown privately to media, and not a single media person came out of that room and said it was self-defense. Not one. Hence the reason why liberal news outlets are not talking about this. If you look at liberal news outlets, they haven't said a word about this case. Why? Because the guy was guilty all along. Why? Because his family knew he was guilty all along. Why? Because they collected money for his defense, and his family bought a house with that money. And now they're stating he needs a public defendant paid by the state after collecting $600,000. In my case, I try to wait until the information is all out there, or at least most of it. And in this case, I did just that, and it paid off. Paid off because now we have a better picture of what happened. And the better picture is that it was no self-defense. So we're looking at two kids, because they're just kids. Their lives got destroyed. One is not going to be ever back to his house with his family and his twin brother. And the other one, most likely, is going to spend the rest of his life in jail. I hope his family enjoys that brand new house. I hope that all those ones that donated once for his defense open their pockets and send them money to the books